voices.
My voice is, but the screen is not. You're gonna have to get me water then.
Your face is like.
Can you get me water, please? Because I forgot to get it. You have to dump out the old water. Ladies and gentlemen, how the hell are you? I forgot my water, so Zach's got to get me my water because I forgot it. How are you doing today? Hanging out for the live Q&A. Gonna take whatever questions you guys have. Could be guitar related, food, racing, life, whatever you want to know. I don't have a deal of the hour this week. We're pretty low on inventory again, and we actually have some guitars that are on promo for a special summer savings. So you can check those out on our in-stock section. So rather than having just one guitar, we have several for you guys to choose from that are marked down. So take advantage of those, and they're ready to ship, no wait. But I do have a couple of really cool builds that I picked them out this week. They caught my attention. We're down Jesse. Jesse is taking care of something. So he left a little bit ago. I think he had to go to the doctor, take his son to the doctor. So anyway, so we're down Jesse. So it's just me, Zach, and Savannah typing away in the background. But I do have some really cool guitars. This one is for Donald Duncan. And I have an estimated completion date of 8/24 for this. And this is a solo multi-scale 7. And you might go, I didn't think I could get one of those. I believe we did add them back to the builder, and if we did not, you can still get a solo in a multi-scale, either a 7 or a 6. I don't think the 8's available anymore, but the 6 and 7 are. But very cool, a trans purple over a swamp ash body, so it's got that raw tone, and then of course the KRG burst. I love the way this looks. You can see like the purple down in the grain and the green on top. Look at that beautiful purple back. Gold hardware actually looks really cool on this. This has some beryllium pickups in it. Oh, and you got your water too. Thanks, pal. Appreciate it. Beryllium pickups in there. Kiesel Racing Green, of course. And then love the crescent moon inlay. Staggered offset dots. Gold frets. Gold tuners. Kiesel Racing Green logo. And I love the raw tone head plates. So if you guys are doing a finish that maybe even the body is gloss and you have a headstock that matches the fretboard, opt for the raw tone headstock finish because it matches the fretboard much better. It has a much better look. But ebony head plate on there, beautiful black Limba neck and multi-scale. So very cool on that one. So that's for Donald. And we're a little early on that one. Here's one that we're a little late on. This is for one of our artists, Logan Young, 721, and this is one of the first 9 strings coming out of here. You can see this really cool pink to blue custom finish, deep body binding effect on that poplar burl top. Of course, antique ash body, just a gorgeous one. And then you have a black Limba neck, black hardware matching headstock, Royal Ebony fretboard, glow in the dark top inlays, the Luminlay top inlays. So you turn the lights out, these are going to glow bright blue. Looks like we have a thorium and a lithium for pickups, and you got that 9-string Gent Monster. So pretty cool to see one of the first 9-string Aries come through here. So on that note, I got past those, so I'm ready for your questions today. And what do you want to know? Zach's going to do his best by himself on all 3 platforms. So what do you want to know?
I always do the best.
Yeah, you do.
Are you pumped for Andor?
What is Andor?
Bruh.
I don't know what it is.
It's a new Star Wars show.
I didn't even know there was a new Star Wars show. I've been so involved in different projects going on at the house, race car stuff. I don't watch really much regular TV. I don't sit online, so I don't see a lot of ads. So kind of the way I find out about stuff is you guys telling me. Zach might tell me something. But yeah. Also, there is one thing too. We have a bassist that's with us, Ryan Neff, plays in a band, Miss May I. And we, as well as I Lay Dying, we shipped some basses to a Holiday Inn Express in Richmond, and they got there the day after the band checked out. And what was supposed to happen is the instrument's supposed to be rerouted back to us. And the manager will not get on the phone with us. We've called over a dozen times. And we start talking to them, and they're like, right when we say bases or they learn that it's us, they just ghost us. They get us off the phone. They hang up on us. So obviously they know what's going on. But these bases arrive there. We have tracking saying they arrived there. They even said, oh, you guys are the ones with the bases. That's how the conversations first started. Oh, yeah, we shipped those back. Where's the tracking information? And keep in mind, this is about 3 weeks ago. No tracking, bases aren't here. So we put them on blast today. We've been calling them. We filed a police report. So we have a copy of the police report. We sent that to them, and we, put the serial numbers down. And these bases that these bozos have, keep in mind, they're one-offs. They are the MJs. They have our Icon headstock on them, so our new modern jazz bass with the Icon headstock. They're multi-scale 4-strings. These are the only 2 in existence. So I don't know if they just think we're like a normal company like Fender where we build 1,000 or 5,000 of something and they're going to just get away with this. So we did some posts on there. So if you guys don't mind sharing those, helping get the word out. They're replying to us on Twitter. Is the only way they'll actually reply to us, but they're very generic cut and paste messages, and they will not get to the bottom of this. They'll just, oh yeah, we DM'd you, so please let's direct everything over there. It's like, no, you DM'd us. Can we have your reservation number? And when is your date of check-in? That's what their generic thing said. It's like, did you read anything we wrote? So, Holiday Inn Express, shame on you guys. Hopefully you guys will, get to the bottom with your manager that clearly stole these bases or took them home. I don't know what he did with them, but didn't ship them back to us. That's for sure. So hopefully we can get the bases back. We did call the pawn shops in the area and let them all know, gave them the serial numbers. And of course we have the police report. So hopefully we can get Ryan his bases and we can get some justice. So pretty sad that this is happening. Normally I think that hotel is pretty solid, not the one in Richmond, obviously, but that chain is pretty solid in general. And hopefully they either find them for us, which would be ideal. That's number one. That's what I want. And I want the bases back. Or number two, they just call us with a credit card and say, what do those cost? Let's take care of this. So either one is fine with me. I'd rather have the bases back. But, if you're listening, Holiday Inn Express, do the right thing and get us the bases back. What else do you guys want to know?
Why is there no multi-scale 9-string?
Because the person we built the 9-string for is Joshua Travis, and he wanted a straight scale. That's what he wanted. So we did a straight scale.
What are the most requested options or specs that Kiesel doesn't do or offer?
The most requested thing we don't do? I don't know. Anything that gets requested a good amount, we do. So, some of the really oddball things like true temperament frets, we might get 20 of those requests a year. Keep in mind, we build over 4,000 instruments, so 20 requests is not very many. I would say that's probably one of our more asked for things that we don't do.
Are the new ring inlays available in Lumenlay?
They are not.
Hey Jeff, just ordered my first Kiesel a few months back, and I'm super stoked. Any chance you might offer an Aries 7 with a mahogany set neck?
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you. No plans on doing an Aries with a set neck. We do the bolt on and we do the neck through. What's stopping you from getting the neck through? If you like that whole set neck vibe, I think you should try a neck through.
I'm looking at my HK being delivered tomorrow. I'm super excited to see the Ziricote top and flamed ebony fingerboard that you picked out.
That is the multi-scale 6. That was the very first one we did. That's why it took so long. We had to do a lot of digitizing on that. The area underneath the bridge, so I had to do that all by hand on that one. Again, that's what took so long for it, so sorry for the wait, but that thing came out amazing. Raw tone finish. Flamed ebony looks amazing. Flamed ebony is a weird one because in the right lighting you're like, holy shit, and in the wrong lighting you're like, you can't really see it. So it's one of those kind of like hidden things that's really cool when you see it at the right light.
Any chance for an 8-string Delos?
No plans for that. No. Mm-mm. We have a 8-string Aries Titanium, though. I know it's not the same thing, but it's still a pickguard model guitar. You might want to check that out.
What's the difference between a stain and paint finish?
So exactly what you just said. So a paint is sprayed on, and that's a layer that goes on top of the paint or on top of the wood, where a stain absorbs into the wood. And when it's stained, you typically will get the grain to pop a little more. But there are quite a few colors that you have to spray on in order to get the look. So sometimes a paint is definitely the way to go, and sometimes a stain is the way to go. It just depends on what you're trying to get.
What are the warmest woods, as in smooth, top end, lower mids, enhanced combinations?
So if you're looking for smooth, you're not going to want something that is going to have a lot of bass or a lot of high end. So I would steer towards like a mahogany wood. I think is going to be a good choice for you. Alder wood, our standard wood, is also a good choice. If you're looking for still smooth but you want more low end, go with swamp ash. And then the other woods typically are going to be a little brighter sounding, like our walnuts and the black limba. It's going to be a little brighter sounding.
Can we have chambering on a 9-string? Sorry I'm late. Can you talk about the 9 again?
I don't remember if we do chambering on the 9, to be honest with you. The builder should go over that. I think we do, but don't hold me to it. The 9 is for one of our Kiesel artists, Logan Young, and I just wanted to show off the guitar.
Dylan Bunch says, I have the Lightspeed 7 in an aqua sparkle with Cali burst you had in your video to announce the model. I love it. It has the sparkle neck too. Can't do that on the builder. How much is that to do?
That is awesome. We actually don't do the sparkle finishes on back of necks anymore. No longer. It's not anything you can get. We just won't do it. And the reason for that is sometimes we have issues with the paint on the sides, too much buildup and too much width, and we have to do a lot of extra coats of clear. So it's not something we're willing to do. And if it's a 6, did you say it was a 7 or a 6?
7.
Oh, it's a 7. Okay. All right. Yeah, because I did a 6 for myself, but I ended up selling it. Anyway, thought maybe that was it.
Have you ever done a Monster Burst in raw tone ash? Would that look good?
Have not. It's as far as the Monster Burst finish, you have to get a flame or a poplar or a quilt top for the Monster Burst. It's not something you can get over just swamp ash. And I don't think you'd really want to be honest. It's a pretty expensive finish. And just to put it over swamp ash, I think would be a disjustice to the actual finish itself.
Are fingerboard stains available for all guitars? I've seen a few guitars with them and they look amazing.
Hey, thank you. Yeah, the color treated boards, you could get those on pretty much any model. Some models, being a little more traditional, it depending on what color you go with and what color finish you go with, we got to be kind of not careful, but I wouldn't want to put like on a Zeus acoustic. Well, I guess Zeus acoustic would be fine, but like our CC275, you probably don't want to do like something bright red over like with a natural flame top or something. So depending on what color you go with, my guys can help you, pick something that's going to look really nice.
Would you be against doing an Arctic finish on an Aries Titanium, being that the pickguard would cover some of your custom finish work?
I'm not against it. I think that there's going to be better finishes out there for you than the Arctic. I would take a look at like maybe a Monster Burst, a Fire finish, maybe a faded denim, a wash denim, something like that. I think could look cooler. I don't know how an Arctic's going to look with the pickguard. I'm definitely willing to do it for you. I don't think it's going to look bad. I just don't know if that's going to be your money best spent.
How much is the Arctic red finish, and does that package include a master grade top?
It does not include a master grade top, and I think Arctic is $800. Comes with swamp ash body, the 3-piece layer, and then the finish itself. So yeah, it's a lot going on, for the money. I mean, just the Swamp Ash and then the 3-piece, just the two of those are about $400. You're kind of really paying about $400 for the finish.
I bought 2 guitars due for finish in October and November. I might be kicked out of my house by insurance due to a kitchen leak.
Oh, no.
How can I change my delivery address?
Yeah, so sorry to hear that. But yeah, what you could do is call in and speak with Chelsea, and she can change update your shipping information on that order.
Does Blackburst edges on sparkle finishes still sparkle, or is it just black?
So it depends. If you do black burst, then it's going to be a solid black, and it's going to hide anything underneath it. But if you do a translucent, it'll still sparkle a little bit, which I recommend the translucent black on the sparkle finishes. I think that looks amazing. And in some cases can even like change the color, like on a orange finish, and then you do that black. Oh man, it looks so good. But yeah, I would do a trans black instead of a solid black.
How much is it to have Master Grade Pale Moon Ebony as a headstock? It's not on the builder.
So you'd have to pair that with a Master Grade Pale Moon fretboard to get it as a headstock. And then I want to say it's about $300 for the headstock overlay.
Can I buy the color Jason Becker JB24 pickups?
We do not sell those. Sorry. I mean, Seymour Duncan might. I don't know if they sell them, but we don't sell them separately.
Hi from the UK. I'm 11 weeks into my build for my DC 600. I'm assuming there's about 13 weeks left.
Oh, yeah, probably. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, probably. I was seeing if that was going to go somewhere else. Builds are running 20 to 25 weeks, right around there. I mean, they can be as low as about 18. It just depends, and every build's different as far as, what options and the complexity.
Would you be willing to do a finished paint that looked like Jupiter with orange and yellow swirls with a black burst?
Maybe. I mean, you can always call my guys and show us what your inspiration is, and we could take a look at it. That'd be the best way to do that. You could call one of them, get in touch, and then send some email photos, and we could take a look.
What model is the Cole Roland based off of?
That's based off our DC 600C.
What delivery times are you seeing for this K-Series?
Oh, K-Series typically will add whatever our normal delivery, you're going to have anywhere from 2 to 8 weeks on top of that. So 20 to 35, 36 weeks, somewhere around there. It just depends on, what you have going on. Some people do the color treated boards. So that's like 2 weeks right there. And then some finishes are very intense, like the rainbow fade is like probably the most intense finish I do, and it takes me a while to get that done.
My wife ended up buying me a Will Swan. Best gift I've ever received.
Oh, that's awesome. What an awesome wife.
What would be the best body wood for a Zeus with a blue denim flamed maple top?
A Zeus, blue denim flame maple top body wood. I think the black Limba bodies look really good against that. Or you could even do like an antique ash, swamp ash. But if you did like a black Limba, I would add that 3-piece layer on there and I would chamber it out. I think that looks really good. We took a guitar to NAMM when we released the Zeus, and it had this beautiful blue denim top on there, and it was spec'd out that same way with the black Limba body and 3-piece layer. It looked so awesome.
Why is there no chambering available on the Leia?
Because it's so small that really there's not a lot of space for us to chamber that's left, because we have that upper horn here. Obviously you have your pickups, you have your bridge, you have all this routed out, so there's very little surface area for us to actually route further to chamber it. So that's why.
I think this is the same person from before. They're asking if it'd be $800 total for Master Grade Pale Moon Ebony, because of $500 for the fingerboard and $300 for the headstock.
That sounds right. Yeah.
Is there an option to make the headstock another color than the body?
If you call in, sure. Yeah, that would be a no return thing. So if you wanted, let's say, the body blue and the headstock red, of course we could do that. It'd be impossible for us to resell it, nearly impossible. So we would require that to be prepaid, and it'd be no return. Something funky like that. I know it sounds basic, but I don't want to get stuck with something where I'm like, oh, I got this as a return. Now we got to take the strings off it, take the tuners off, sand the head plate down, repaint the head plate, put a new logo on it, clear it, buff it, put it back together, and then sell it. I don't want to deal with that. So especially when we're as busy as we are, that just delays production further. You guys don't want us dealing with that too.
How does the blue-purple shift look in a satin finish? Any plans for more color shift options?
It's actually funny that you asked that, because my daughter, we're painting her helmet right now, the blue to purple color shift. And so I sent her 2 examples. One was satin and one was gloss. So here's how the color shift works. It grabs the light, whether it's, interior light or sunlight. Sunlight's the best. And it reflects off of the little, it's like a metallic pieces in there. It reflects off that, and that's what makes it shift and change colors. So the gloss allows more light to come in and allows more of the color to come out. Satin, you guys have all tried to take, well, not maybe all of you with satin guitars, you've tried to take pictures of it, and in some angles it just looks like the light. It's like, this is a black guitar, why am I getting the white reflective lights on it? Because the satin, because it's got a little porosity to it, it traps the light in it. And it doesn't let the light go all the way in. It doesn't let the light come back out. So the color shift still looks cool as a satin, but it doesn't shift as much or as hard. So if you're really wanting a lot of shift, I would recommend staying gloss. That's what she's doing. I did also find out that there's a very large surcharge on the color shift when we get a small little sample of it. So my cost is about $700 for a custom color shift, and I was only charging for custom color shifts about $900, which is not enough. I'm now needing to charge $1,200 for custom color shifts. So our standard color shift is still going to be $600. That's where we've been at, but custom is going to be $1,200 now because of my surcharge for one little thing. It's getting crazy. And right now on all of our paint products, because diesel price and gas price is so expensive and oil price is so expensive, we have a 15% surcharge on all of our paint products. It's pretty awesome. So whatever we're paying, add another 15% to it. So we keep getting all these cost increases. It's like, we're barely going up on our guitars, and then people keep raising our prices. It's like, son of a bitch, it's like, when is this going to stop? It's driving me crazy.
Can we specify a certain look if we get a master grade top or fingerboard?
I don't understand what you're asking. There's things you can specify, but I don't know if you mean the look of the top as far as the grain. Yeah, within reason, for sure. I mean, if you want to supply a Kiesel photo of a Kiesel you've seen on master grade, we allow that just on the top, not the fingerboard. Then I can do my best to accommodate that because I pick all those out.
What translucent colors look the best with black Limba?
I'm going to say trans black. I'm not a big fan of painting black Limba. I think most colors are tinted quite a bit because the wood's kind of like a greenish, greenish brownish color. And when you spray over that, I just think that any translucent just doesn't pop. So I'd go with a black burst or a trans black burst. I think those colors look pretty cool over black Limba.
Are there more woods available than what is available on the builder for the NS1 for Colin? For example, could I go black Limba body and pale moon ebony fingerboard?
You could do that, yeah. And there are more woods that even are not on the builder for any model. So you could always call in if you wanted something, a little more exotic. I shouldn't say more exotic, just I'd call it off menu.
How much more does choosing an Arctic finish add to the total build time?
Arctic is going to add about 3 weeks or so. 2 to 3 weeks. It just depends on how backed up I am. Like, for example, I will be leaving and I'll be gone 2 weeks racing. So let's say your guitar is just coming to my bench. And let's say I'm a week out from working on it because I have others in front of it. Well, if I'm gone 2 weeks, so now we added 2, and then there's a week worth of work in front of yours. So, it just depends. And Arctic is almost a week-long process for me.
Can you get a dual coat, like on an Aries gloss top and satin, or raw tone bevel onwards?
Absolutely. Yeah, I recommend, if you're going to do that, I recommend a gloss top because that's where all the action happens, all of the potential scratching and things you'd want to be able to buff and clean. And then I recommend a satin bevel, sides and back. It's a very cool look. I've done that on a lot of my personal guitars. I started doing that. Shoot, my first Vader that I ordered was that way. It was actually a gloss yellow, and it had a raw tone blacked out ash body. It looked amazing. I ended up selling it because the back of the neck was black limba, and I just don't like how black limba necks feel personally. So I ended up selling the guitar. But that was 2015 when we did that. So I think it's a really cool look, but definitely gloss on the top and definitely satin on the rest of the body for 2 reasons. 1, it protects the top better. And then number 2, it allows the instrument to breathe better. This is all of your body wood, allows the body wood some room to breathe and really like resonate.
On the CS behind you, is that classic or vintage white?
That looks like our, it'd be classic white or vintage cream. It's definitely not vintage cream. So we have classic white, white, and vintage cream. And that is our classic white. So we would just call it white.
Does Kiesel have a holiday party in December?
We used to. We used to do a company picnic. We used to do holiday parties. And then COVID happened and we kind of stopped doing that stuff. So, we'll see if that trend, starts back up. But, we're trying to do everything we can on our end. The last thing we want is we have a holiday party, do a nice party for everybody. People have a few drinks, they're getting close. And before you know it, the whole shop has COVID, right? We don't want that.
Can you order pickup rings with an Aries?
You cannot. They are direct mount only. We do not offer bezel mounted. The reason for not offering bezel mounted, I'll show you on this Aries right here. So if we were to, I know it's a 9, but if we were to offer bezel mounts, what would have to happen is the pickup would actually get lowered down to fit that ring right at the top. Doesn't sound like a big deal, but if you take that neck pickup and shove it down just that little bit, it's not going to be as fat sounding. It won't be in that sweet spot. So it's not just the sound of a direct mounted pickup, it's the fact that you get that neck pickup further up, which is a very important thing. That's why a lot of players gravitate towards 22 fret guitars, because it takes that neck pickup and shoves it further up. You can get that split greater here. You can get a big difference in sound between neck and bridge, giving you your fat sound and then giving your more high attack cut through for leads. So that is why we do not have mounting rings on most of our guitars, is we're really trying to get you that fattest sound possible, and a mounting ring would get in the way of delivering that fat sound. Same thing with a neck adjustment wheel down here too. It also gets in the way of that fat sound.
I got my Type X today and I love it. Thanks all of you at Kiesel.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you.
Let's see here. Is there an option for a solid shell pink finish?
We do not have a shell pink, but we have our light pink, which is kind of a similar pink. We can do custom colors, so if you wanted that, you could call my guys and we could do a custom color. Keep in mind, any custom color that's not something we offer is automatically no return, no refund, because we're doing a special color for you, and there is a surcharge for that because we're bringing in special paint just for that one guitar.
I would like to get my helmet colored or color shift painted. Can I send it in?
Who's that? Anybody we know?
It says Alan's Guitar Channel.
Oh, yeah. So that's pretty cool that we're doing Kayla's helmet. We did my wife Sean. We did her helmet hot pink and splattered Kiesel Racing green and black across it. It looks really cool.
This is the last one. Can we still get a Type X bass if we ask nicely?
Pretty please, and call my guys. And on that note, I'm out. Thank you all so much. Appreciate you. And if you have any questions, as always, call my guys, 858 Guitars. And thanks for hanging out.